President Trump's budget team ordered a temporary pause on all federal financial assistance spending besides Social Security, Medicare, and other select programs pending a review, potentially putting trillions of taxpayer dollars in an indefinite deep freeze. The sweeping halt, which encompasses a slew of long-standing government assistance disbursements including foreign aid, is set to go into effect Tuesday at 5 p.m., teeing up a potential legal showdown over the extent of a president's powers to spend or not spend money appropriated by Congress. The number of programs affected and the exact amount of funding at stake is unclear, because the memo from the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, was rife with carve-outs subjecting the freeze to what is permissible under applicable law and allowing for exemptions on a case-by-case basis. This memorandum requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with the President's policies and requirements, OMB Acting Director Matthew Veith ordered agency heads. To the extent permissible under applicable law, federal agencies must temporarily pause all activities related to obligation or disbursement of all federal financial assistance, and other relevant agency activities that the executive orders may implicate. Veith cited President Trump's blizzard of executive orders since he roared back into office last week as a framework for how government assistance programs should be reviewed. For instance, Trump, 78, had ordered federal agencies to end diversity, equity and inclusion (DI) programs. Agencies have a deadline of February 10 to apprise OMB about specific programs, projects or activities subject to this pause. At a later date, OMB will give guidance to those agencies about those programs. OMB may grant exceptions allowing federal agencies to issue new awards or take other actions on a case-by-case basis, the memo caveat. Veith also noted that federal agencies may continue taking certain administrative actions, such as closeout of federal awards that are expressly required by law. A footnote in the missive also underscored that nothing in this memo should be construed to impact Medicare or Social Security benefits. In a statement Tuesday, the Department of Education noted that federal Pell Grants and direct loans to students are also not impacted by the Veith memo. Career and political appointees in the executive branch have a duty to align federal spending and action with the will of the American people as expressed through presidential priorities, Veith explained. The use of federal resources to advance Marxist equity, transgenderism, and Green New Deal social engineering policies is a waste of taxpayer dollars that does not improve the day-to-day lives of those we serve. Programs subject to the pause include Section 8 rental assistance, temporary assistance for needy families, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants and children and more. OMB Director-designate Russ Vought, who has yet to be confirmed by the Senate, has been a proponent of impoundment, in which the president could simply opt against spending on certain types of programs appropriated by Congress. Back in 1974, Congress passed the Impoundment Control Act, which imposes limits on a president's ability to refrain from spending on items that the legislative branch has appropriated. The president ran on the notion that the Impoundment Control Act is unconstitutional, Vought told senators during his confirmation hearing earlier this month. I agree with that. Democrats erupted in fury and outrage over the move. Donald Trump's administration is jeopardizing billions upon billions of community grants and financial support that help millions of people across the country, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat New York, fumed in a statement. It will mean missed payrolls and rent payments and everything in between, chaos for everything from universities to nonprofit charities. Top Democrats on the House and Senate Appropriations Committees inked a letter to Veith late Monday demanding that he reverse course to ensure requirements enacted into law are faithfully met. We write with extreme alarm about the administration's efforts to undermine Congress's power of the purse, threaten our national security, and deny resources for states, localities, American families, and businesses, Senate Appropriations Committee Ranking Member Senator Patty Murray, Democrat Washington, and her House counterpart Rosa DeLauro, Democrat Connecticut, wrote in the letter. The scope of what you are ordering is breathtaking, unprecedented, and will have devastating consequences across the country. We write today to urge you in the strongest possible terms to uphold the law and the Constitution and ensure all federal resources are delivered in accordance with the law. Trump has underscored his desire to significantly slash government spending during his second term. On his first day back in office, he rebranded the United States Digital Service Federal Agency as the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and beefed it up with authority to review the federal government for bloat. He also tapped entrepreneur Elon Musk to helm DOGE. Currently, the U.S. national debt is hovering around $36 trillion, while the federal budget deficit topped $1.8 trillion in fiscal year 2024.